Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my weekly review.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here, meeting my icon, Catherine Isabel here.
Across the streams of hopes and dreams where things are really not. Come along if you can. Come along if you dare.
Have a good one. Cheers, guys.
Side of your mind, but please realize you'll probably be surprised.
Hey, what's up you guys? Bloody Jacob here to bring you my review of the first episode, the series premiere of The Alienist on TNT, which was called The Boy on the Bridge. And now this is a show I've been looking forward to for a good number of months now. I went to do a video on it some time ago, just expressing my anticipation for it, because one of the main stars is Luke Evans, one of my favorite actors. And I really do love, I can get into, stories and, movies and films and this time period, especially when it's a little bit more horror, esque or horror related. So my girlfriend and I just watched the first episode tonight. I know it's a little bit late. But it's set in 1896, excuse me. Psychological thriller. When a series of gruesome murders of boy prostitutes has gripped New York City, newly appointed police commissioner Teddy Roosevelt calls upon Dr. Laszlo Kreisler, a criminal psychologist, aka alienist, and newspaper illustrator John Moore, to conduct the investigation in secret. Joining them in the probe is Sarah Howard, a headstrong secretary at police headquarters. So that's the basis of the story there. There's a murder, and it basically launches all these kind of different types of characters to look into it. All of them kind of having their own issues and sort of, vices or things of that nature. And something that this does remind me of it is Penny Dreadful. Maybe that's just because of how much I do still miss that show. There's no vampires or any actual monsters in this or anything though, but it has a similar kind of, like I said, a period piece kind of feel and tone to it. That I think really works with the nature of the story, of course. This is based on a book as well. I think it's just supposed to be limited or event series kind of thing. I think it's just supposed to be this set of 10 episodes and that's it. Which is fine. Let's see. So we have Daniel Brühl as Dr. Laszlo Kreisler. He's an alienist, and they're basically people at this time who would study, deeper into killers or criminals like this, and that was kind of looked upon in an odd way, almost like they were devils or awful people themselves at the very least. And he does a pretty good job. Now I prefer, just because I'm watching it for Luke Evans, to Luke Evans to be in that role. But he has a pretty good one too. He's still one of the three main characters, which is nice. Luke Evans is a pretty good name to have on a TV show, I think. I don't think he's ever really done anything like this before. But he's John Moore, the newspaper illustrator, so he goes to crime scenes instead of taking photos. He actually draws them and kind of sketches them out, so he has to make a pretty good picture of, this boy's body, unfortunately. And even the boy that was murdered is looked down upon. It's like today, the way people see certain, just people that choose to, identify themselves as one thing or the other, or maybe they're not sure yet, and they call the boy an it. And John or Luke Evans, he kind of stands up for that, and must you really call him an it? So I like that from him. Now John is a character that's probably a little less sure of himself than the others seem to be. as far as we know so far. His vice is sort of alcoholism, and he has a bit of a sex addiction as well, which is funny because Luke Evans is gay in real life, I think. So it's funny to see him being the one so into women in this. But he's done it plenty of times, so it's fine. Luke Evans, of course, does a good job. Like I said, he's one of my favorite actors. With like John Bernthal and Sam Witwer, and stuff like that. It's great to see him here. He has really good presence to him, and he seems like he's really into this kind of story. And it is interesting, which we'll talk more about in a couple minutes. Like I said, Daniel Brühl does a pretty good job too. I think he's pretty believable in the kind of role he's in, for the most part anyway. I think they could have maybe chosen someone else, but I don't think he's doing a bad job at all. And Dakota Fanning, I haven't seen much of Dakota Fanning, I'll be honest. But she's definitely grown up. The last thing I probably remember seeing her in is War of the Worlds, with Tom Cruise back in 2005, which was an okay movie. I haven't watched it in a while, but she, like I said, she's definitely grown. She's, I think, 23 years old now. And I was surprised with how believable she was in this role. Now it is sort of typical for us to see women in roles like this on shows or film like this, as they're being looked upon a certain way by men. But that's the way it was in certain areas at this time period, so it sort of makes sense. And it appears that John, and her have some kind of prior knowledge of each other or experience with each other, their families and stuff like that. So that should be interesting to see how that plays out as we hear more about their past relationship or something. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, the period 1896 is a really good one to have. Except with Penny Dreadful, it was like that time period in London, but this is in New York. But we still get the pretty good set design, along with the outfits and things like that. I think are pretty on point. Now I haven't read the books, but I hear for the most part it's pretty close to it. There are some changes as far as I know, but I think it's apparently it's captured the general spirit and style of the book pretty well, which is good. Now, central mystery as far as who's killed this boy. There's a connection made with another murder recently as well. It is intriguing. It is interesting. I like the way they're going about it. The pacing seems to be pretty sound so far. I'm definitely intrigued. Again, my favorite part of it is still Luke Evans, but I'm definitely intrigued enough by the show in general to watch next week just on its own merits if it wasn't for him. So I do like it. Now, it is somewhat familiar. Like I said, I keep thinking Penny Dreadful, which I really still miss. And there have been other shows and films like this before. But, it's not bad. It's definitely worth checking out. It's definitely my kind of show. And, it does have a decent amount of violence in it so far. We haven't really seen, any, fights or anything yet, but the body, looked pretty gruesome, appropriately so. So I think it'll show just enough of that type of stuff as it has to. Excuse me, it's after 1:30 a.m. But yeah, my girlfriend definitely enjoyed it as well, maybe even more than me, I'm not sure. But yeah, so I'm definitely going to keep watching this. I'm not sure if I'll review each episode each week. But I'll try, or at the very least I'll review the finale or something. But definitely check this one out if you're into this genre. I think it's definitely worth looking at, even for just Luke Evans, if you're a fan of his, or Dakota Fanning's, or what have you. Definitely has a lot of nice little touches that I like to it. Yeah, so if I'd rate this episode, I'd rate it about an 8.7, 8.8 out of 10. Not great or incredible for me yet, but it's definitely one that I like to sit back and concentrate on for a while. It's pretty good. So yeah, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, subscribe. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.